Black Widow. Now imagine if we would have had a sister playing this character. A sister like Keke Palmer. Full lips. Megan Good. Jill Scott. What's her name? Issa Rae. Issa Rae. So then technically at that point, would she be called Black Widow? That's a totally different movie at that point, and that's a movie I'd like to see. Please consider that, Marvel. I'm just saying. What's good with it, people? Welcome to the Joe Blackula Perspective Presents Behind the Curtain. And I am your host, the infamous Joe Blackula. Cue my drop.
Joe Blackula.
Good looking out, people. Whoa. I got your attention for a hot second. Right now, text 10 people to text 10 people. Right now. Disclaimer, I saw this movie in the theater, my movie theater, AMC 21 here in Chicago, on Sunday, July 25th, 2021. And this was the first movie that I had seen in a movie theater since Christmas Day, December 25th, 2019, when I saw Star Wars Episode 9. And watching this movie, Black Widow, sitting down in a dark theater was a struggle for me at times. Man, it is not easy for me to sit in the theater anymore without feeling like I'm about to straight nod off. What type of new age oldness witch magic is coming down on me? I remember when my mother used to take me to the movies when I was a little boy, either Evergreen Plaza movie theater or Ford City, and the movie would get started and I'd look over at her once the movie started and she wake, right? Clock maybe 20-25 minutes later, I look over there at her. I'm talking head back, mouth open, Jack. I'd be super salty looking at her like, damn it, man. She used to tell me, boy, keep on living, just watch. Watch what I'm telling you. And yeah, I see now. Either way, it was good to be back in the theater. Now, Black Widow was released in theaters and on Disney Plus Premier Access on July 9th, 2021. Rated PG-13. Total running time was 2 hours and 13 minutes. Directed by Kate Shortland. I'd never heard of her before. And stars Scarlett Johansson as the Black Widow, Rebecca Romanoff. Damn, not Rebecca. And stars Scarlett Johansson as Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow. Florence Pugh as God damn it. We are not about to get started doing this, man. Florence Pugh as Yelena, David Harbour as Alexei, aka the Red Guardian, Rachel Weisz as Melina. Man, I hope I ain't put the wrong name down there. The daughter's name is Yelena, the stepmama's name is Melina, Yelena and Melina. And Ray Winstone is Draco, or Drakov. How does it... Damn it with these names, man. I'm gonna get into some of what I know about the other featured actors in a minute, but out the gate, I'm looking at Ray Winstone and I'm trying to figure out, where do I know this dude from? I know his face. I don't forget faces, but something was not adding up. Then it hit me. I know him from having a beard. The Departed. I know my man's from The Departed. Mr. French. Right. His character Drakov had a heavy role, but I did not like the way that they dealt with him. Kind of lackluster for a dude whose character was as heavy as it is in this movie. Recognize David Harbour from another Boston-based mob movie, Black Mass. Sidebar. Jack Nicholson's Frank Costello character in The Departed is loosely based off of Johnny Depp's real-life character of Whitey Bulger in the movie Black Mass. Take that one with you. The short version is that this movie takes place after Captain America Civil War and before the Avengers Infinity War. Black Widow is trying to stay off the grid, but the dude that drafted her, trained her in the Red Room Black Widow program, made her who she was, along with what looked like about 100 or so other kidnapped girls. Kidnapped, that's what they looked like. Because none of them girls looked like they volunteered to be there. But that dude, Drakov, sent the Taskmaster, who I just now heard about in this movie. The vibe that I was getting was that Taskmaster is his daughter. So he sent Taskmaster after her because from what I could tell, Drakov didn't like the fact that Black Widow had defected and joined what used to be S.H.I.E.L.D. And along the way in the process, we meet her surrogate sister, Yelena. I liked her. One of the several dope scenes of the movie is how the two surrogate sisters got like reintroduced to each other. And they had this big fight, tore up the whole kitchen. Put me in the mindset of the fight scene in Kill Bill between Uma Thurman and Vivica Fox. Sidebar. Riddle me this. This is completely off the cuff right now. I'm wondering what the hell happened how Vivica didn't become like an action star for at least one more movie after that. I'm just saying. We meet their surrogate dad, Alexei, who was the Red Guardian. I'd never heard of him before. But I'm assuming that he's the Russian version of Captain America. The running joke was that the Red Guardian kept asking Black Widow if Cap had heard of him before or if he had ever mentioned anything about him. Now, when we first meet Alexei, he seems like this waspy Midwestern American dad. Later on, years after he ain't undercover no more and got strategically locked up, now he seems like this dumb, tatted up Russian, killing time, beating other inmates in wrestling contests at lunch and whatnot. Now, from what I can remember when I was a little boy, there was always some type of dumb Russian that was thrown into the mix somewhere. Nikolai Volkov in the WWF, Colossus in X-Men, that What a Country comedian.
I said to myself, what a country.
I'm thinking now maybe it was just some good old US of A propaganda and whatnot. Man, ain't no telling. Completing the family, we meet the surrogate mother, Melina, played by Rachel Weisz. 3 standout movies that I immediately think of as soon as I see Rachel Weisz. 1, 1996's Chain Reaction with Keanu Reeves. That movie is slept on. Number 2, 2005's Constantine, once again with Keanu Reeves. And 3 is 2013's heavily slept on Oz the Great and Powerful with Keanu Reeves. No, James Franco. Good to keep seeing her though. Once they get the family unit back together, they decide to take down Dreykov and his entire Red Room Training Academy type demo. Man, what is the name of that sad ass show on NBC? This Is Us. They deal with these unresolved This Is Us type issues, which actually contributed to the story and helped move things along when there wasn't any law of theory breaking action scenes happening. Riddle me this though, and technically this is on some nerd shit. Here's my thought. Black Widow and Hawkeye as well, right? Which may have been the best 2 out of the Avengers with hand-to-hand trained combat. Imagine if Tony Stark had fit Black Widow up with some type of Stark enhanced type uniform. I mean, she would have been damn near unstoppable. I'm sure somebody's gonna let me know if she had some type of super suit or something. Wow, super suit or something. Something else I noticed about all those women at the Red Room Black Widow program is that Black Widow is more of a title than just a slick name. Same thing like the Green Lantern Corps. Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. So Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow. Could also have been Rue McClanahan, Black Widow. Nell Carter, Black Widow. Audrey Meadows, Joyce Randolph, Black Widow. You get my point. So Black Widow, she could be any of those women that I saw training. And they made sure to show you that there were several black sisters in there training too. Those were not any Easter eggs either. They meant for you to see them. Failed to mention. What I failed to mention are the opening credits to Black Widow. I'm sitting listening to this song. I'm recognizing the melody. I'm recognizing these lyrics. I'm like, what the hell? Dope rendition of Smells Like Teen Spirit from Malia J. Please pardon me if I'm trashing your name, but man, them chords, sound choices. I would have actually added the music as a music bed right about now, but the YouTube police ain't having it. I got goosebumps, real goosebumps while I was listening to this in the theater. That's just a music producer nerd that kind of like snuck up at that moment. Another nerd alert. Yeah, I'm officially gonna add nerd alert to the batch. So what I really like to do is design these lower thirds right here. I made this. I like conceiving them. I like spending hours looking for the images, seeing if somebody can understand the Easter egg visuals that I had in plain sight, like right here. But part of that process for me is finding the right font. So I'm always looking at them. I'm always very aware of. In the first act, the first 20 minutes of the movie, when they show whatever city that is that she's in, when she first rolled down on her little sister, the font that they used is the exact same font that they used in Captain America Civil War and in the Avengers Infinity War. I'm pretty sure they used it in something else that I probably overlooked. Spoiler alert! So, of course, there was the typical Marvel, you better not leave before these end credits are over with end scene. But I'm wondering, seeing that Julia Louis-Dreyfus character of Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, my thought is, was this scene shot with Falcon and the Winter Soldier in mind? Is Yelena gonna pop up in the Hawkeye series? Makes sense, but I don't know. Does this mean that Valentina Allegra de Fontaine is gonna pop up in the Hawkeye series? I don't know. What dictated what is what I wanna know. This Marvel Disney connection is just right, man, and we're all gonna benefit from it. In conclusion, so the Marvel Universe is set up in a way where all of the movies in a matter of a few degrees are all tied into each other, be it directly or indirectly, and seeing that the character of Black Widow has already been connected through the Avengers storyline, I thought that it was dope how her story is still actually connected with the Avengers thread. But at the same time, the movie gave me a feeling, even if I wasn't aware who she was in the Avengers universe, I still would have been able to have followed along with the storyline. And that's a good thing because it could be real easy to get lost in this Marvel universe. And I also know, unfortunately, that at some point that Marvel is going to run out their route with me. I really only care about the characters that I grew up with, and they've knocked almost all of them out in the first 3 phases. At this point, all I honestly really want to see is what they do with the Fantastic Four and with the X-Men reboot. Everything else, cue Jim Carrey.
And I don't care.
I mean, other than that, we'll see. But if this is it, as far as Scarlett Johansson being the Black Widow, she debuted her character in that horrible movie Iron Man 2 in 2010, played her in 8 total movies. So if this is it, then she went out on top with this one. Spoiler alert! Actually, she went out on top when she died in the Avengers. Love, hate, or debate. Yeah, I loved this one. Mind you, the only superhero that I like to watch without superpowers is Batman. He is the only one. Well, I guess you could throw Iron Man in there as well. Only Iron Man in the Avengers movies. Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3 were straight trash. And I honestly did not think that I was gonna like this Black Widow movie. Mainly because I couldn't see why I would care about her storyline to be invested in her for over 2 hours. But I was. Everything was balanced in this one too. The story was good. I was able to keep up. The story made sense. It tied directly into the Marvel Universe. Introduced me to characters that I didn't know, but these same characters are well established in the Marvel canon. Nothing too over the top. Kept my attention. And the only reason I nodded off because, man, I mean, look at the environment. Dark room. I'm comfortable. My feet are up. A nap might happen. I'm just saying. And I am going to give this movie 3 black fists out of 5. Mainly because, man, imagine if she had some Stark tech on. And that ain't the movie's fault, that's me. I know that I'm nitpicking. All right, people, let's put a bow on this one because it is officially a wrap. If this was your first time visiting, your attendance is much obliged and highly appreciated. Look, please like, share, hit the subscribe button, tell 10 people to text 10 people, and whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below and let this brother know, and I will holla black in a few ticks. In a minute, people.